Life moves fast. There are rules nobody ever taught us, but break them and people notice these rules that I'm talking about. They're basically the unwritten rules of modern life.
We went over to Chili's and grabbed every dessert they have.
Every single one. They have 3 on the menu and we tried them all.
Yes, and they were delish, by the way. For me, they were so too much. It was crazy. I'm starting to feel like I was going to do something stupid, like throw up or something. Probably my favorite was a chocolate chip cookie in a little frying pan that was hot. It had some ice cream on it.
It's almost as if unwritten rules exist to prevent small chaos from becoming big chaos. You don't even realize you're doing these small little things that almost everybody does. It's like we all live the same life. Everyone follows them without even realizing why.
Okay, you got to enlighten me. What is an unwritten rule?
Testing, testing. Can you hear me loud and clear, Chris?
Loud and clear.
Man, that is good to hear. How are you doing?
Super stinking fantastic, but you knew I was.
I
How are
did,
you
yeah.
doing?
I'm doing pretty good as well. I should have went first there because that sounded super, like, depressing in comparison to yours. We're gonna have to remember that. You ask me first from now on, and then I
Okay.
ask you. So that way,
Okay.
it's not taking away. Because that was, I feel like I need to go, oh man, I'm doing a super califragilistic. I'm doing
You
good.
want to start over?
Yeah, we'll do a take 2.
All right, take two. What's up, buddy?
From the top. From the
Yeah,
top.
of
Okay.
course. Absolutely.
Well, how are you doing?
Well, I think the better question is, how are you doing?
I am brighter than ever before. I don't know where I was going with that.
Brighter.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna
Brighter than ever before.
I
That
just threw
sounds
that out.
really good.
Brighter, you think?
Yeah, brighter. I mean, brighter than what? Life? Brighter than your circumstance? Brighter than a whole bunch. I mean,
Than ever before, I guess.
well, okay, so I travel a lot and I run into a lot of different people, and I run into very few people who live in a positive state, wake up in a positive state,
Yeah.
stay in a positive state, look forward to going home and being with their children. I mean, it's such a remarkable place to be. And I wish more people had the opportunity to find out what that was like. And I'm brighter than anything else.
I need to, like, figure out how to finish that, but that's a good starting point. I think you're right. I'm brighter than the day before, something like
Okay.
that.
All
I'll keep
right.
working on it. We'll
All
circle
right.
back.
Well, that's a good place to be, and I like it.
Yep. Yep. But
You
anyways,
know, well, I mean,
yes.
a lot of the books that I've read, oftentimes the author is referring to that state or that place you need to be in order to be successful. One of their recommendations is one of the top recommendations, and almost everyone does it, is hang around with people that are more positive than you, right?
Yes. That's a good
Hang around with
you
people that are more successful
you
than you.
become the people you hang out with.
Yes.
So, let
Yes.
that be a word to the wise. If you are around people that aren't the best in certain circumstances, then maybe they're not the crowd for you. Try to find
You know,
somebody that helps you grow.
absolutely. Absolutely. And the same can be said about who you marry, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, it's very important, and if I could make sure that whatever church we started was full of those kind of people, how successful would that be, right? Because these things bleed over into your relationship with God as well.
That's actually a really good question. I feel like that is something that kind of pertains to a church service that we overheard actually in Estes Park a couple weeks ago. But before we get into that, before we go any further, let us introduce ourselves on this week's episode of Duo Jive, shall we?
Absolutely. I'm Chris.
Okay, and I'm Noah. Welcome to
Absolutely.
this week's episode of Duo Jive. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or have somehow survived all, oh my goodness, 42 episodes. We're moving right
42.
along. Seriously, thank you.
42.
Welcome to Wyoming's #1 podcast for questionable advice, accidental wisdom,
Number
and
one.
deeply unnecessary storytelling.
Yes. Yes.
Before
And
we jump in,
yes.
before we jump in, come hang out with us on Instagram or
Yes.
TikTok. Drop a comment with what you want to hear or see next,
Yes.
and make sure you're
Yes.
following or subscribed on whatever you're listening. All right, now we can get back to it.
That's a really great intro, by the way.
Oh well,
Very
yeah,
good. And what we were talking about momentarily before you suggested we introduce ourselves about hang around with people that are more successful than you or more positive than you or positive at the
Mhm.
very least are positive. That ties into who we are, right? We are Wyoming's number one. We are the number one podcast for
Questionable advice, accidental
yes,
wisdom, and deeply
yes.
unnecessary storytelling, and I think we even sprinkled that in by jumping right into it the moment we pressed record today. This wasn't on topic, but here we are.
Yes, we are, and I like it. I like it a lot. So today's Tuesday in
Yes.
the recording world, anyway.
Mhm.
There's no telling when this episode will air or segments of the episode will air, but today's Tuesday, and it was an eventful Tuesday. Want to know why?
I am quite curious as to why.
Well, you brought your mom to Laramie last night.
Mhm.
And we, of course, shortly after that, enrolled her in the hospital where she was scheduled to have her other knee replaced. And so they did that early this morning, and it was a very good day for them. And the doctors are amazing. Everybody was amazing, most of which we or had the privilege of meeting them the first time that she had her knee replaced, the right knee.
So this was the second go around.
Yes, it was, and it was the left knee.
Mhm.
And so they were very acquainted with her, some of her conditions, right? Uh, and so it was a good day. It started off really early, right? A little tired from it, but it was a good day for that. And I believe it's a great step towards your mom, my wife, being able to enjoy life without some of the issues or the concerns or handicaps that come with your knees being a problem.
Yes, I feel
And so
like it's going to kind of allow her to reintroduce herself back to adventures and
yep,
scenarios and
yep,
life in general. I
yep,
already told her whenever she's ready to rock and roll and those knees are healed, I'm gonna need her to come with us on a trip back to Orlando, back to Disney World and Universal and all that stuff.
absolutely. Yep. A year from now, she'll be a completely different person.
Yes.
And we all know, you know a lot due to your studies and what you've done as far as exercise. I'm discovering more and more just by getting old now that I'm 60 years old, the movement, right? Continual movement. It's so valuable to us and
Yeah.
so important in our everyday lives, and not just from a awareness, right? But also as far as the cardiovascular system is concerned. And I know that that's going to benefit her tremendously. And she's really excited about it.
It's very exciting.
So,
Yep,
yeah,
everything went well. It was good
that
to
was
hear.
today for us. That was today
Very
for us.
eventful Tuesday here in February of 2026. A
Yeah.
little timestamp for us to look back on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, we went and visited you guys, so I mean, pretty similar scenario. We went and visited you guys, or not visited, but
Last
went and
night.
took mom to the town over and dropped her
Yep.
off for her scheduled surgery and
Yes.
got that all situated, came back and went back to work today. So just starting the week off, we're only on Tuesday. Fun weekend though, very mild in adventure because Tiff and I actually never left town. We stayed home and kind of just did the home stuff, just hung around town and didn't really do too much. It was a much needed, just a weekend home, especially because the
Rest.
weekend before
Yes.
was a big one that we went to Estes and we talked about that a
Yep.
little bit in previous
Yep.
episodes. So
Yep.
go check
Yep.
that out
Yep.
if you haven't checked them out if you're here for the first time. Thank you for listening, by the way, if you are here for the first
Yes.
time.
We
And
like it.
yeah, well, and if you want to chat it up, just shoot us a comment or something or like or subscribe. But we did a adventure 2 weekends ago and we didn't do anything this weekend. So it was more of a mild weekend. Nice. It was nothing
Right on.
crazy.
Right on. Right on. Yeah, well, and you're right when you say it was l last weekend was full of adventure.
Yes.
You not only had to travel in order to get down here and to be able to, enjoy those things, but then, there was moving around in the hospital, in hotels
Yes. Hotel
and
hopping.
right, and enjoying a lot of different people's company and eating out quite a bit. But,
We talked about that in that previous episode. Yeah,
yeah.
We mentioned our little adventure both in Estes and Denver, so
Yep.
it was eventful. But
Yep.
this coming weekend, do you have anything planned? A little teaser?
No, actually, this weekend I'm going home so I can,
Coming to Wyoming.
yes, be at your mom's beck and call for
Oh
a couple
man.
of days. You
Healing
know,
process.
yes, yes, absolutely. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. What about you?
Not much. We'll probably be hanging out with you, so that'll be about it.
All right. And ironically, there's nothing to stop by Crumble for. That's just that's going to kind of feel
Man,
weird
it yeah.
coming home.
I've checked. This week's list is pretty disappointing. You might be more intrigued. I'm not into lemon.
No,
So,
I heard the list and I was a little disappointed, no
mhm.
doubt. So, maybe something else. Maybe there's
Maybe.
something else we need to find or
Ooh,
connect with or try out because
there's
there's
plenty of options down there in Denver for you to
yeah.
bring up. To
Yep.
ye old Wyoming, where we have
Yep.
land of plenty, but there's plenty of land, but not enough amenities.
Yeah, right? But I mean, there's gotta be another dessert, right?
I could
I
imagine.
mean, and it's gotta be able to travel 4 hours, but,
Yes.
there's gotta
So you
be
might be limited. I
some.
mean, you could always get Freddy's, or I'm sorry, Andy's custard and just, put it in a cooler and put some dry ice on it. I mean, that would be
That's
one option.
that's legit.
Or
Ooh, I wonder.
Krispy Kreme. I mean, that's donuts. So we've had that
Yeah,
discussion,
yeah,
whether or not
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
donut or a
yeah.
breakfast.
Alright,
That's up for you guys to decide.
I'm gonna plug my brain in and put some energy into
Mm,
that thought. And,
okay.
if I come up with something, of course, I'll let you know, or if you come up with something, you can let me know, and we'll be
I
sure to
certainly
share
can.
with
That's
everybody
it's easy
what
for
we're
me to do.
dragging home from Denver.
And we're bringing up to good old Wyoming. So, not too eventful, but you know what I did realize? This was kind of big. I mean, not too big, but big enough to bring up again. And that is, we are now only a mere 10 followers away on TikTok from hitting 50 followers and being able to go live and possibly do a pre show here in the future with TikTok followers. So, it's very
We
exciting.
we absolutely must do something.
I'm thinking so.
So then what do we want to happen then in order to get to those additional 10?
Keep posting. Post
Okay.
and let people know that we are this close. And this is what we're doing right here, CTA, call to action.
What?
That's something I actually just
Ah,
learned. So there's your little call to action. And another thing I learned is most people have, the CTA shouldn't last more than 6 seconds because you're going to lose them from that point on.
hmm,
So quick,
hmm,
precise, and let them know. So
hmm.
follow us on TikTok.
Right.
We're almost to 50 subscribers,
And bring your friends. I mean, that's really where it happens.
but
Is
exciting.
because somebody shared it or said something.
Progress is being made. We're slowly getting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of
Absolutely.
dessert, we talked about dessert and what we're possibly going to do this coming weekend, which is exciting. We'll be able to kind of circle back on that next weekend or next Tuesday whenever we do another episode and talk about what we ended up doing, what dessert you if you did bring a dessert with you from Denver. But
Right.
what did you do this past weekend?
This past weekend, I'm thinking.
At least one dessert, man. At least
No,
one.
sir. No, sir.
Not
No,
even
I
one.
didn't. I was trying to be good. I'm in this frame of mind where I'm trying so hard to be good,
I mean, I'm proud
except
to hear it.
yes, except, and I gotta say, it's only when you're around that this kind of stuff happens.
Okay.
But last night,
Yes.
yes, well, I mean, that's worth talking about. No
Maybe
doubt.
for you, I actually had a pretty big one this week, so I'll let you introduce. I'll
Really?
let you take over last night's because I was in
Okay.
attendance of this dessert, but
Yes.
I have a special one in mind.
Oh, well, are you talking about homemade?
No. Well, I do have an honorable mention, but my main dessert
Okay.
is not homemade.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, you first. You already started talking
Well, I
about
mean,
what you did.
I did talk about last night because you were in town and after we went to Chipotle, to fill our gut. You were still shy a good number of calories.
Yes, but you did not help. You did not help.
Well, I mean, okay, wait, hold on. I was helping because
No.
you cannot afford to be shy that many calories. I'm just saying.
To a degree, yes, but at the same time, I try to prioritize protein. I'm really working hard
Yes.
towards focusing on a
Yes.
certain amount of calories, but high in protein.
Well, I did suggest we go. So from Chipotle, we went over to Chili's.
We did.
and completely grabbed every dessert they have.
Every single one. They have 3 on the menu, and we tried them all.
Yes, and they were delish, by the way,
You
almost,
wanna name
and
them?
they were, for me, they were so too much. It was crazy. I was starting to feel like I was gonna do something stupid, like throw up or something,
What
you
are
know?
they? We're waiting.
Well, my memory's not that good, but I do know that one of them that was probably my favorite was a chocolate chip cookie in a little frying pan that was hot and had some ice cream on it. It
Called a
was
skillet cookie with
amazing.
ice cream.
Okay, there you go. It was my favorite. It was one of them. The next one was the lava cake. Of course, I think that's one of your favorites. Is it not?
It used to be, not anymore.
Oh, okay. And lava cake is an upside down. So it's a chocolate cake. That's when it's before it's delivered to the guest. It's turned upside down and flopped out of the pan, right? And I guess it has some chocolate in the center,
Yeah,
which I did not.
it's called a molten lava cake, so
Okay.
it's got the chocolate filling that oozes out whenever you cut it, and then with a
Mm.
dollop of ice cream on top of that as well, so
Exactly.
2 dollops of ice cream now.
Yeah, and it sounds better than what it was to me.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's very awesome to you because you like it, but there was something missing. I can't, probably chocolate chips. I don't know. I just needed something, or white chocolate chips or something. It
Interesting.
needed something. And then the third item, I can't remember what it was called. I think, bless you, I
Thank you.
think you can remember though what it's called.
Well, that's because of the fact that I brought it home with me, and I'm thinking about it pretty much every day until I eat it this Saturday.
Oh, wait until Saturday. Okay. And what was it?
It was the Reese's Peanut Butter Cheesecake.
Yes.
Or yeah, I think it was a
And it
cheesecake.
looked, yeah, it looked like, although it looked like it had some chocolate in the cheesecake
Yes,
or
it
the
had
bottom of the
chocolate on it,
cheesecake.
and then it had, like, a chocolate drizzle, it had Reese's Cups,
Yep.
like, on the top and in it and stuff like that. The cheesecake itself was very peanut buttery and then a chocolate base.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, Reese's.
it
Very
was
good.
good.
Peanut butter cup combination there. And it was delicious, but I could only eat one bite.
Mhm.
It was too rich to me. And my taste buds must be changing. I used to be such a freak for sweets.
Count your blessings, man, because it was hitting me hard last night to a point to where I was like, "Man, I gotta go pick up, like, a pint of Halo Top to curb this sweet tooth craving that's low in calorie and high in protein," because I was craving it, and I knew that I had this peanut butter pie that was
Ah,
1,000 calories in the back of my car calling my name, and I was like, "I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna save it for Saturday."
well, now wait a minute. There's only half of that there, right? Half of that piece of pie,
I had
which
2
was
bites.
it was 1,000 calories. I took a bite, you took 2 bites, I think Tiffany took a bite,
Yeah.
right?
So that's only 2 bites that I'm missing, so let's bring it down to maybe 850.
Even less,
You're being
man.
generous
Maybe. I like to be generous, though.
in the wrong way,
But
wrong
anyway,
direction.
anyway, did you go get the Halo Top?
No, no, I ended up going straight to the gas station, picked up a cup of ice because my go-to when it comes to those long drives, and if you're familiar with Wyoming, shout out to you guys because you guys are probably familiar to this as well. If not, come to Wyoming and experience what it's like driving from town to town. These towns are about 2 hours moderately in between each other. I don't know what it is. It's either about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from each other. There's a gap of just nothing, and in that time frame, you're driving a straight 2 hours, 80 miles an hour, which is nice. There's not
Yep.
traffic or anything,
Yeah,
but
not a
that's
whole
just a
lot.
straight 2 hours. Late at night, you can get a little sleepy, so my go-to is a big old cup of ice and just munching on it while listening to a podcast.
It is mine as well,
And it's not
and
I
sometimes
don't
a
listen to my own
podcast.
podcast. So, yeah, I listen to other people's. I'm not that conceited.
If you were listening to it, nobody would think that was conceited. They
No?
would probably think you were critiquing it,
That's
right?
true, if you think about it
Oh,
in the right
come on.
way.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, I used to listen to my radio shows and, critique myself a lot.
That's fair. If you're listening to it to improve, then yes, but if you're
Yes.
listening to it for your own advice, then I don't know, something weird about that, but I don't
It
do that.
feels initially, I could see where it would feel kinda weird, but at the same time, it's one of the best ways that as a show producer, right,
Mhm.
you can get a feel for how it sounds being played back, right? And that's actually the most important sound. of any show or visually. It's the same way. Either the visual feel or the audio feel of a show. Listening to it is one of the best ways. So
Man,
please, please do. Please
yep.
do.
I actually just upgraded my microphone for my personal vlogs. I just got a top notch, in my opinion, Bluetooth mic that I can utilize for my vlogging videos, my personal channel. If you
Excellent.
haven't seen that, go check it out. It's called Noah Avery on YouTube. It will be linked. So
Yes.
check it out if you want
Yes.
to join me on a fun
Yes.
adventure with Tiff and Lincoln. But I just upgraded my vlogging mic, so that's exciting. That's one step
Saw that.
further. I haven't used it
Yep.
yet, but that's
Yep.
one step further. Oh, you did see it, huh? Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, no, no, no,
we're
no,
in
no,
the
no.
same
I
Amazon
take
account.
that. I don't think I got it on Amazon.
Well, you looked at one
I
then on
did, I did.
Amazon
I
and
did
didn't
look
buy
at
it.
one, and I think I added it to the cart, but I didn't get it through Amazon.
Well, I just assumed it was that one.
Nope, nope. So it was a different one. It was a DJI, so top notch,
Yes.
but well,
Yes.
that's
That's the one that I saw.
yes, and
You
I
went
didn't get it through
someplace
Amazon.
else to get
I
it.
did, I did. I had a coupon for a gift card from Target, so free is better than not free.
Well, congratulations. All right,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
looking forward to it.
yeah, let me
And
know what you think.
I know that you've been working towards that because it's gonna improve everything you're doing so much more.
Yeah, well, yeah. By the way, I forgot to mention to you, I do have an honorable mention before as far as my desserts go. Oh wait, I
Oh,
didn't even
yeah.
introduce my dessert.
Nope,
We
you
went on
did
a
not.
major talk
Getting
about a
stingy.
rabbit hole. I didn't even introduce my dessert, let alone my honorable mention.
Please do. Please, please
So
introduce us.
mine is kind of an interesting one, in my opinion, because it's not going to be anything surprising. It's not going to be this crazy exotic dessert, but it's something that I actually tried for the first time ever this past weekend. I've never had it ever because I just never had an appeal towards it. But for some reason, Tiff and I were like, let's do it. So we ended up having on Saturday, we ran around town and we ended up deciding to get a dessert. And at the time, I think it's still out right now, but McDonald's has their Shamrock Shake and Shamrock Oreo McFlurry available, which is basically a mint chocolate shaker or McFlurry. And I got to try it, and I will say it was pretty good.
Really?
It was nothing crazy. It was definitely a McDonald's McFlurry, but
Okay.
having it for the first time ever, it was had me thinking like I need to figure out how to make this in my homemade ice cream flavors because it's good.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta go there in a minute, but you ate McDonald's Shamrock Shake,
Yes,
so
for
it
the first
had to be
time.
green.
It was green with
Okay.
Oreo because I did the McFlurry, so that one comes with Oreo bits in it. So it did not disappoint. It was chocolatey, it was minty, and it was good.
Minty.
Yes, I was a fan. It's green, like
Yeah, I don't
St.
know
Patty's
about the
Day.
no, I like the Thin Mints, so surely I could tolerate a McDonald's minty shake. Hmm.
So I
I
wouldn't do the
need to go
shake.
try that.
The shake is just
McFlurry?
Shamrock. Well, yeah, the shake is just Shamrock, so it's just mint. But then if you do the McFlurry, that comes with the Oreo mix-ins, and I feel like that does it. The chocolate and the mint
Yeah.
together work well.
Yeah. Okay. All right, fine. McFlurry it is, and
Yes.
with Oreos. Okay.
Shamrock McFlurry, baby.
All right, I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
It is a
I'm looking
thing, and
forward to
I
that.
have tried it. I probably would give it a 7 out of 10.
That's
Nothing
pretty good.
crazy.
That's pretty good.
Nothing
Yeah.
crazy.
All right.
Average score. But with that, I also had an honorable mention.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for.
Really?
Yes.
So the
Well,
honorable
yeah,
mention,
because
do you know what it
go
is?
ahead. Well, I forget what it is, but you told me last week that you were getting some ingredients and what you were gonna do with them. It was like, okay,
Well, let me say, and let's
all
see if
right,
this is what it was.
yes.
So I ended up making my honorable mention, not to toot my own horn, but this honorable mention is a homemade ice cream pint that I used with the Ninja Creamy again. That thing is amazing when it comes to homemade ice cream recipes, especially whenever they're my high in protein, low in calorie versions.
So for the Ninja Creamy, for those who don't know, is
It is a machine that literally make your own, like you take like a pint that they also provide you, you put a bunch of ingredients inside of whatever your heart's desire. You know, you can keep it low calorie, add your own mix-ins, whatever, and you freeze it overnight and then you put it in there and it takes that block of ice that's with your ingredients and turns it into a ice cream. Very creamy ice cream, I might add.
And is hard or soft?
Soft.
Very good. Oh, I
Yes.
gotta try this.
And you're gonna like it even more because the recipe that I had just made and I showed you last night was my newest, latest flavor that I made was the cookie butter Biscoff
Oh,
ice
my
cream
stars.
creamy. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and yes. So, you made it last night?
No, I made it last night we were with you. It was this past Sunday,
Okay, okay. Alright.
so the night
Well,
before.
so how much of it is do you have left, and are you gonna have to make another one when I come to town?
I will be making more because there is none left. These are designed to be entirely the whole pint is designed to be eaten entirely in one sitting because the whole pint so the, cookie butter is actually a little bit higher in calories, but it still only sits at about 365 calories for the whole pint and 35 grams of protein. 35 grams of protein, 365 calories, not the best well, pretty pretty good macros, but I've made better with different recipes, but considering it had cookie butter flavoring in it and Biscoff, like,
Yeah,
cookie inside of it, it
yep.
was good.
Need to be serving that as a dessert in the chicken booth truck or whatever.
That would be good. You can't go wrong with cookie butter, and I promise I'll make it for you this weekend so that way you can maybe possibly use it as your honorable mention if it's worth being an honorable mention next week.
Well, that's excellent. So, if you wanna know what I'm doing this weekend, I'm gonna be spending some time at your house for a minute,
Alright, fair enough.
unless
I'll
you
see you
bring the
there.
stuff over to my house. A ninja, so what, is it staying about yay tall or
No, it's pretty big. The Ninja Creamy machine itself is probably ooh, man, that probably is like 24 inches. Probably
wow,
like almost like a
massive.
foot. Yeah, it's a
Wow.
pretty big machine. It takes up a decent amount of counter space. Machine to that degree, you could see why, because it puts in the work. Turning that block of whatever you're concocting together to
It's
make that
got
ice
enough
cream
power to make it all happen.
to turn it into a creamy not
Heck yeah.
ice, creamy ice cream.
Heck yeah. I like it a lot.
Good stuff. That's my
Alright.
honorable mention. That is my dessert of the week. Very interesting one. Let me know what you guys think about the shamrock shake if you guys have had it. I'm curious to see what you think, Chris, whenever you have it. I'm surprised you haven't had it yet. Figured it was a pretty
The
popular ice cream.
shamrock the shamrock? Nope.
Yeah.
And that's the funniest part of it because I was feeling like I needed to get something sweet and small, right? Something that wasn't gonna be high calorie and something gets because I didn't wanna eat a lot for dinner, right? And I was so I forget where I was driving, but I just whipped it right into McDonald's and got their smallest cone, and it did the trick, by the way. But if I would have known about the Shamrock, McFlurry, I probably
Gotta
would
try
have
it.
gone ahead, yeah. But I will. I'll make that a priority over the next day or 2 before I get back to where we are gonna try out your magic recipe.
I like it.
Hey, man. You know, it's funny how much we get off on the tangent
Bad.
of talking about amazing desserts or deliciousness and stuff like that. I'm sure that there are many that find it fascinating, and there are some that are like, "Okay, get on to the real talk."
Yeah. The real talk. I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know that if you're listening to a podcast, right, it's because you want to hear the meat of the podcast. What is the topic? What that you're going to be discussing that's going to make me think,
Hmm. Yeah.
hmm,
There you go. Hmm.
yeah,
Well, it's funny you mention us lingering on too long on a topic because, in my opinion, the topic, well, what I wanted to ask you and what I wanted to ask these guys listening, the listeners, is life moves fast. There are rules nobody ever taught us. And I mean, sometimes you could say these are rules. That's the question for me to ask you and ask you guys. But break them and people notice these rules that I'm talking about. They're
are
basically the unwritten rules of modern life. Are there rules that we didn't even know about?
unwritten rules of modern life.
Mhm.
My God.
Modern
Okay.
life is busy and full of micro interactions. If you really think about it, it's almost as if unwritten rules exist. You're doing these small little things that almost everybody does. It's like we all live the same life. Everyone follows them without even realizing why or
Okay. You
that they
got
do
to
it.
enlighten me. What is an unwritten rule? Example of an unwritten
Well, okay, so for example, social and public rules. elevator silence.
Okay.
What's up with that? Why is everyone always why is it just a common niche to be silent on the elevator?
Okay. That provokes a rebuttal because I'm not sure that that's a rule as much as it is just people are afraid to say anything.
That's true. Maybe it's etiquette in it. There's like an etiquette you don't wanna disturb other people because you don't want
Well,
them going
right.
on.
Right. I mean, you don't want to be that guy that when other people that are on the elevator get off, when they get off of the elevator, are they talking about you, right? And saying, I was on the elevator today and this guy wouldn't shut up, man. Well, that is for sure. I'm not sure if I want him to. Maybe I do. I don't
What
know.
about who goes first in lines? Is that one? Like,
Okay.
you always have that same issue to where whenever you run into somebody and you're going into a line at the same time, you're like, "Oh, no, go ahead." Or, like, if you're holding a door for them and it's that awkward stand of like, "Oh, you
Okay.
go. You go. You go." Everyone
Courtesy.
does it. Everyone does it
Absolutely. Well, do they though? I
for the
mean,
most part.
okay. Yeah. I mean, America was founded on a very kind people. As people, we have historically been kind. However, that seems to be changing.
You think?
Well, I
In today's
mean,
society?
so is courtesy a common thing now? Or is courtesy something that is not common? It's kind of rare. I don't know.
Dang,
Your thoughts?
that is a hot take right there. In the middle of the episode, you got a hot take. Is courtesy a thing of the past?
Well, I mean, it isn't and is, right? I mean, it is how common really is it? So, for example, it's kind of unheard of that men or young men, even older boys, when they're getting ready to take a young lady out on a date, that they're going to be chivalrous, right?
Yeah.
Chivalry. The old adage, "I'm gonna lay my coat down over a puddle so her shoes don't get wet," or, "I mean, my coat down over a puddle so her shoes don't get wet." That nobody does that, but I mean, it's that was the reference point to
Mhm.
whether or not a guy was chivalrous, whether or not he was kind and courteous and opened the door and offered to pay for a meal and stuff like that. I don't know, am I wrong?
No,
I feel
you're right.
like
Yeah, I feel like you're right. What about these? What about I've got a few here that pertain to like a friend's house or guest rules almost when you arrive at a guest's house.
whoa, okay.
Shoes on or off,
Mm,
determining whether or not are you going to take your shoes off or not. It's
what do
the
you do?
age-old debate that everyone debates whenever you go into a friend's house. You debate, do I take my shoes off? Should I take my shoes off? It's always that awkward. You look at the door to see if there's shoes there to
There
determine
you go.
is it a
There you
shoes
go.
on or off house?
Yes, and that's my calling card, and it's usually when I get inside and realize they're in their socks, they're in their socks, they're in their socks, the shoes are by the front door, right? Adding it up in my brain, "Okay, I need to take my shoes off,"
Yeah,
right?
that's an off house. Shoes off house.
Yeah, exactly. And that's funny. I mean, the house I was raised in, we didn't take our shoes off. Matter of fact,
That's same.
yeah, because they stayed on because we were going back outside in a minute. I didn't
Mhm.
wanna have to put them back on, see,
A
right? So
lot of
it's
back
just
and forth.
come inside and get your drink, come inside to eat and then go back, come inside to talk to whoever's yeah, I know, I don't know, but that is a courtesy, and it's a
What about
what
not
would that
arriving empty-handed at a guest's house? Why is that a
oh,
thing? Like, I don't know. I guess I personally I can understand why it would be etiquette, but at the same time, why is that it feels like an obligation. You know, it's a rule. Like, that's what I mean, that's what
sure,
I'm guess I'm trying to say is
okay,
it feels like a
an
rule
unwritten
almost.
rule. Yes,
You don't
absolutely,
arrive empty-handed at a guest's house.
and that is a
Or
perfect example of an unwritten rule.
leaving without saying goodbye, you always have that awkward if you're at a guest's house and you always have that awkward pause of like, "I'm ready to go home," but the guest is or the host is talking to someone, you're kinda waiting so that way you can say, "Alright, I'm headed out. Bye."
Well, okay, now I'm a little different there because when I'm getting ready to go and we're at somebody's house and they're talking or whatever, it's like, "All right, guys, see ya."
You butt right in.
Well, yeah, or I'm gonna yell it loud enough to where everybody's gonna hear me, and they don't have any choice but to accept the fact, "Okay, Chris is leaving," you
Chris is
know?
leaving. Yep, Chris is
Yeah,
leaving.
yeah,
You make it
exactly.
known.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's also an opportunity for me. I like when everybody's busy talking, I'm like, "Yo, I'm outta here, see ya," and it kind of becomes an opportunity to make my exit and not turn it into something melodramatic, for example, or emotional or anything like that. Does it make
Hmm.
any sense?
Yeah,
What
I could
about
see
you?
it.
What about you?
What do you mean?
You wanna wait? You're gonna wait until they're done talking so that you can
So
get
sometimes,
the
I guess I've
yeah.
caught myself kind of waiting for the right moment to say my goodbyes, and then then I have that thought in my mind. What am I doing? I could just say bye, see ya. I'm learning,
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah. It's funny because I figured you probably would have already known that.
I think I'm catching on quickly, but it's just one of those things that it became common for me to try to be etiquette, a rule, an unspoken rule that you say bye
Yep,
when you leave. And that's just friends or guest house, right? Then you have the
yep.
public workspace, public spaces where if you're in public and you go to a restaurant, etiquette, imagine how weird it would be. It's an unspoken rule. Imagine how weird it would be if you're waiting in line at a Taco Bell and then all of a sudden somebody walks in and walks right past you and walks right up to the counter and doesn't stand in line.
And I've had it happen.
Man, it's like, who do they think they are?
Yep. So
Unspoken rule.
then so then, what is the unspoken response to that?
Hey man, get in the back of the line.
"Yo, bro, the line's here."
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how it is. Oh, I didn't. By the way, the line starts there.
Yeah. If you're looking for the line, I guess you are. It's right
Hmm.
back here. And that's kind of interesting, and the place I've seen that happen the most is Disney World.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of different cultures, so it makes sense. It's a melting pot, and when you have that kind of integration into cultures, and they're just so crowded,
Yeah.
you're bound to run into somebody.
Yep. Yep, and that's a fact.
Hmm.
This is that is a serious fact.
Hmm.
Well, okay, and, and the funny thing is being polite in those scenarios is kind of seen as an odd thing to some people, you
You
know?
think?
Yeah. I don't know, I think so, yes.
What about not interrupting meetings?
Well, I do it a lot, you
Yeah,
know?
see, you're the odd man out here. I feel like in a scenario like that, most people are gonna be like, "Oh, they're in a meeting. I'll wait until they're done."
Really? Well,
Maybe.
okay, I get okay, so we talking about a business meeting or a friend meeting?
Both.
Because I mean, I do interrupt meetings a lot because I've got information that needs to be shared, right? At a time when people may or may not have allotted for my input, and I'll have no choice but to interrupt and say, well, or when I'm showing up at a meeting that because I was of a because of an and this has happened quite a few times here, where I'm in a meeting or I'm involved in a situation that prohibits me from being at a meeting on time. I hate showing up late for any meeting, but unfortunately, there are times when you're required to, you're forced to, you have to, right? And interrupting a meeting becomes part of that, right? What's up? And there'll be times when I'll use it as an opportunity for some humor. For example, I walked up to a group of guys that were in a meeting that I knew needed to happen with these guys. Fortunately, they had an opportunity to get together, and they're in their meeting. And I walked up to them and I interrupted it. I said, sorry, guys, I didn't get the memo. Start over. And they look at me like I'm nuts.
Right? That sounds very Chris, I will say.
Well, yeah, probably.
Okay, I got a mini game.
All right. A
Well,
game.
it's a mini game, nothing crazy, and we'll
Okay.
call it rule or just chaos. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna present a scenario, and then in that scenario, you guess whether or not it's a universal rule or personal preference. For example,
Okay.
sitting in the same spot in a meeting. Every single time you have a meeting, you have your exact same chair. Is that a personal preference or a universal rule? Is that okay to accept? Is that ADHD?
It's
OCD?
ADHD. Yes, it is.
OCD?
Yes, it is. And probably half of the people that show up at our meetings do the exact same
They
thing.
have their spot, man.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to say it's society or no, it's chaos making room for itself. It's making maybe that's yeah, it's or making room for order would be the best
So
way.
I wonder what you'd think of this one. Is this the same scenario then, or same situation, same thought? Refilling the coffee pot before it runs out, or when it runs out.
Wow.
The
I've been
work
thinking about
coffee
that
pot.
too. Never.
You never refill it?
No.
That's
No.
chaos.
Well, and here's why. Okay, so that's a multi-pronged question. And
Okay.
let me help elaborate on this. Our coffee pots. Okay, so we've got 5 different coffee pots. We've got one in the
Quite a bit
atrium.
of coffee.
We got one in the facility operations office. We got one in our office, and we got one in the GC's office. Okay, and so two of those two of those coffee pots are plumbed, right? So the water line runs to them, and when that coffee pot needs water, it's got water, right? All
That's
the time,
lovely.
24. No, it is lovely. It is very, very lovely, and some of the best hot chocolate you might ever have, by the way.
I can imagine.
Okay? Yeah, it's just amazing, and by the way, both of these coffee pots that are plumbed have milk in them.
So it's the
So
good stuff.
yeah, it's making hot chocolate with milk, and I'm telling you, man. Anyway, and then so the one in our office is actually pods. And it's not like you might imagine pods to be with the K cups or anything like that. It's it's an espresso machine, if
Okay.
that
Yeah,
makes so
Nespresso.
and then it has a reservoir that when I see that reservoir getting too low, I'm gonna refill it.
Okay.
Or one of the other guys in the office will refill it. So we take turns, and
So you
it's
do
we
help.
yes, absolutely. Well,
Okay.
now but see, what I'm really fascinated by is there are people that have for years been refilling the old coffee pot. Where, in other words, you take the coffee pot, right? And you put water in it, and you that's the amount of water. You fill that coffee pot with water, and that's the water you're gonna pour into the reservoir in the back, right? And then you're gonna put a filter in there, and then put some scoops of coffee in there, and put the coffee pot back under there, close it up, and it's ready to go for in the morning whenever they
The
want coffee.
multi-step process.
Yes, yes, I've seen that, and I'm fascinated by it because I never once thought of doing that.
Prepping that early?
Yeah, well, yeah, just anytime the coffee pot runs out, it's like, "Okay, well, we don't want any more, but somebody's gonna want some, so let's get it ready for that time,"
I
right?
don't think of that either, to be honest. That's taking it a step further. I guess I was just implying if it runs out and you're the last person to use it, are you gonna refill it?
For what? Tomorrow morning?
No, the
So
same
that's
day.
ready to go? Okay, alright. Yeah, sadly, no.
Oh, man.
And you?
Yes, in the right scenario, yes. If I'm the last one to
Really?
use the coffee pot, yeah, it's an unspoken rule. You know, you have to refill it. Same goes for like our cooler. We have a bunch of water bottles in our fridge, and anytime the water bottles, if you're the one taking the last water bottle, you refill, you replenish. So that way it's not just leaving it empty and we still have cold water bottles.
No. Yes, no, I'll give you another example of that. When you see the bubbles come up in the water cooler, right?
Uh-huh.
That means it's all the water has drained out, and it's not bubbles coming up, it's actually all the water has drained out of the water cooler, and there's a reservoir inside that water cooler, where you take those big bottles, the big 5-gallon bottles and put them on there. There's a reservoir inside, so the next time somebody comes up to use it, there's gonna be water there, even though it doesn't show in the big bottle, right? But because it ran out while you were using it, do you go and get a new bottle
Yes,
and
100%.
replace it? Yeah, that's awesome.
Justified.
Yeah, yeah, that reveals a certain degree of character that a lot of people don't possess.
Mm. What about leaving a Zoom call quietly?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, just
Y
disappear?
Oh, yeah, I have to. I
Ghost.
have to. Yeah, well, when a Zoom call gets carried away, right?
Yes.
And certain people start talking that have nothing to do with my department or what I'm doing and what I have to do. If that starts, I'm making my exit.
You're
You?
disappearing? Oh, I spot on. Yeah, that's I don't know, that's an unspoken rule, you know, everyone does the same there. It's like, "Oh, my part's done.
Yeah,
Ding." And then you just
yeah.
ding, ding, they're gone.
Well, and in a lot of calls, it's not quiet at all because it's gonna go ding,
Yes,
or
it'll let you
"Who?"
know.
Yeah, it'll make that noise. Another person just left, another person just left. But if it's something that does pertain to my department or to me personally or whatever, or people I'm responsible for, I'll most certainly stick around. I will never leave early.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, if you're still a part of the conversation, that would be that'd be rude. But the unspoken rule that we've all come to accept is whenever your part's done in the Zoom call, you just disappear.
That is an unspoken rule.
Yeah, I feel like that is true.
I could,
Universal rule rather than personal preference. We all do it.
yep, yep,
So with that, unwritten rules, I feel like they exist because life is moving faster than ever, and it's only increasing day by day. It's true what they say. As you get older, life moves on quicker, so appreciate every moment. But I feel like the unspoken rules, they kind of help us navigate crowded spaces, stressful schedules, and a little daily chaos without losing our minds. It's like, it's just a part of life. We all do it, and it is the way it is. Something without even
yeah,
thinking about it.
yeah. Isn't that funny? Well, we don't think about it being an unspoken rule, but
No.
we're thinking about it differently. How can I get out of this?
Yes.
Or how should I do this? Or should I open the car door for that girl? Or should I get the bill when I'm taking
Now
somebody
that
out on
could
a date?
be more so courtesy, like you're just kindness and courtesy whenever you're thinking of scenarios like that.
But it used to be an unspoken rule.
It's true. It used to be.
Hmm.
Not in today's society, not as much. Anyway,
No, no, well, and it's really how people were raised, right? I mean, if if people are raised in the right household and they're raised to be courteous and kind, raised to have what's that word that I used earlier? Chivalry. To be chivalrous, to be the kind of young man that if there's some threat to the people that you're around, you might sacrifice yourself. Is that an unspoken rule?
not in today's society, not as much.
Exactly. People run instead. They run away, and that's
Unfortunate to
sad.
say. Yeah.
The young men that knew what it meant to be a man and to address a threat because it was going to affect the people that you were around, right? So I'm stepping up. I'm going to take care of this threat, right? That's those days are long gone in many cities and some cultures.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, that one got a little deep.
Yeah, well, it tends to end that way, I will say. We like to do that.
Yeah, but yes, we do. Thank you very much. Thank you for doing that.
Anyways,
Okay,
alright.
so
That's enough on the unwritten rules for today.
okay, rules of chaos. Enough of those two.
You were to break at least one, which one would you do it? Make sure to do it responsibly if you do break one, but which one would you do?
Which rule?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That's for the audience, not you.
Okay, I don't even know. I have no idea how I would answer that.
I feel like you'd be the type of guy to not hold the door for somebody.
Hmm. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Chris is not that way. He is far from it. That's why I said it.
Interesting.
But that's for them. But that's
Yeah.
enough unwritten rules.
Well enough.
Do you have anything else?
As far as topic?
Yeah? I mean,
Oriented?
anything for
Content?
this week before we wrap up?
No. I think we have talked about a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and no doubt have a lot of content that not only are we sharing, but also giving people a chance to respond to. So please do, if you don't mind, if you're listening or watching. And we've talked about some, and you have 2 cents to add to that, please, or 5 cents, or 20 cents. Please.
If you have
add.
any good topic ideas,
Yes.
we'd love to hear them. Something that maybe pertains to you guys. That way we can chat it up with you guys, that you would be a little more relevant in something in the future.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes,
A
sir.
lot. And don't forget to tell your friends to follow, please, on TikTok especially, because we're almost there.
Yes. And I do have another hot take ready to
You do?
wrap it up. But when I say this hot take, that's it. So if there's anything you want to say left, Chris, speak now. or
Speak
forever
now or
hold your
forever
peace.
hold my peace. Whatever. What's the hot take?
Okay. Well, with that, the hot take this week is people say they hate rules, but they follow everyone they don't know existed.
What?